All right, so in the last video, we went ahead and did the home section. Now we want to work on the explore. And just to show you guys real quick what that looks like, let me bring over the finished product. And we're going to have this, which is the explore head section, and then the explore section. That's kind of how this theme works. It has the head and then the main content. Same with create, same with share. Okay, so let's add that. So we're going to go back to VS Code, and we want to go, let's see, we want to go right underneath the header, which is the home section. I'm going to put a comment. We'll say explore head. And then we're going to actually use section tags for the rest of these. We're going to give it an ID of explore dash head dash section. And inside here, we want to have a container because the content we want to push into the middle, not the explore head section itself, because that'll have a background. We want that to expand all the way across, but the content should be within a container. And then I'm just going to put a row because we want to use the grid, but it's only going to be one big column, so we can actually just use the call class. I'm also going to add text center so that everything aligns to the center. And then in here, let's add, well, we could put the padding class here, but I'll actually add it right here. So py5. And if you don't remember from the spacing video, py is going to be padding on the y-axis, which is top and bottom. So we're adding a 5-level padding on top and bottom. And then what we want to do is add our h1. I'm going to give it a class of display4 to make it more prominent. And we'll say explore. And then we'll do a paragraph with the class of lead, which will also make it more prominent, make it bigger. And I'll use lorem20 tab to just generate some sample content. And underneath that, we'll have an A tag with the class of btn. And let's do btn outline dash secondary, which is like a gray. And we'll just put a number sign here. And then for the text, we'll say find out more. So let's save that and we'll take a look. So it should look like that. Okay, so we have our head section. Now let's do the main explore section. So we'll go underneath right here and let's say explore section. So this will be another section and we'll give it an ID of explore dash section. I'm also going to give it a class because I want this to have a light background. So we'll do bg-light. And then the text I want to be a little lighter as well. So I'm going to say text muted. And then we're going to do a py5 padding on the whole section. And then everything within it will be in a container. Also a row, not that kind of row. And we're going to split it in the middle. So we're going to have two 6-column divs on basically on medium screens and up. Anything below a medium screen will stack on top of each other. So we just want call-md-6. Now with Emmet, I can actually do ×2 and hit tab, and it'll give me 2 of these divs. So in the first one, we want to have our image. And just to remind you, I'll show you real quick. So we have this image here. This is going to be this 6-column div, and this 6-column div will have this. And then once it goes below a medium screen, it'll stack on top of each other to make it responsive. So for the image, let's just put in an image tag here. Now I'm going to give this a class of image or img fluid so that it kind of just it fits inside of its container and it kind of changes the size depending on its container. I'm also going to do an MB-3, so margin bottom 3, and I also want it to be a rounded image. So we're going to give it a class of rounded-circle. And then the source is going to be in the image folder, and it's going to be called explore section1.jpg. So that should do it. Let's save and make sure that shows up. So if we go here, there it is. Good. So now we want to do the other side, which is this MD6 div. And in here, we're going to put an H3. Oops, H3. And we're going to say explore and connect. Underneath that, we're going to put a paragraph tag, and I'm going to do lorem. I don't remember exactly how many words I did. Let's try 20. And let's see. And it might look a little different than the final product because I don't, like I said, sometimes I don't remember exactly how many words I put in. Underneath that, we want to have our icons. So if we take a look, we want these two. And we're going to set this up just like we did up here with the deflex. So this will be a deflex div, and we'll align these to start and end, and we'll also add a little background and stuff. So let's do a class of d-flex. Inside here, we're going to have a class. We'll do padding 4 again, padding -4, so all sides. We want to align self, so align this element to the start, and it's going to be an icon, so we'll say i.fas, which is a font awesome, and then the actual icon is a check. And we'll also make it ×2, so we'll say FA-2 times. So that'll give us the icon. And then what I'll do is copy this div, paste that in here, and we'll set this to self end so it aligns on the end, and the check, that icon will stay the same. Let's see. Oh, one more thing. We actually want some text in here as well, so let's grab this and put this right under the, actually, you know what? I did this wrong, didn't I? Self end. The text should go here. I'm sorry. Actually, let's do a little more. Let's do lorem 15. Whoops, lorem 15 tab. Okay, so we have our deflex, and then we have these two divs. And then what we want to do is copy the whole deflex because we want 2 of these areas, and we'll paste that underneath. So let's see what that looks like. Let's see, it's this one here. All right, good. So the checks don't have the background and stuff like that. We need to do that in our custom CSS. So let's head over to there. So we'll go to style.css, and let's go down here and we'll say explore-section.fas. Now I'm also going to add right here a comma, and I'm going to say share section. So ID share section.fas. The reason I'm doing this is because when we do the share, it's actually going to be the same type of formatted icon, so it'll have the same background color and all that. So I might as well just add it now. So let's say that the background that we want is going to be 333, so dark gray. Color will be white, and padding will be 5 pixels, and let's do a border dash radius of 5 pixels. So if we go ahead and save that and go back, now we have that dark background and it's a white check. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's test the responsiveness out. So if we go ahead and make this smaller, scroll down, that looks good. And you can see why I did the MB3, the margin bottom on the image, or the div around the image, is because I wanted some spacing here. Okay, and even on very small mobile devices, everything looks really good. Okay, so in the next video, we're actually going to do both the create and the share sections because they're pretty much identical to this, except we're going to kind of switch these around on the create, or whatever one is after this. I think it's create. We'll have the image on this side, and we'll have this stuff on this side. Okay, so that's what we'll get to next, guys.